I just can't stop now. No, trying to find a way out. Ay, feels like they won't let me move, let me breathe, let me leave, just like a maze, like a maze. Yo, PolyRob, what up?
Yo. Welcome to another episode of the PolyRob podcast. I am your counselor, PolyRob, and I appreciate you tuning in once again. Make sure you subscribe on all my podcast platforms, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Podcasts. We are on TuneIn. We are on iHeartRadio. We're on YouTube. So we're on every podcast platform. There's no reason for you to miss my podcast. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody tuning in to all my episodes, sending me words of encouragement to keep going. Just telling me about the experiences that they've been having with creative, with business in the industry. And, hopefully I can help in the best way possible with just these episodes and, knowledge and experiences that I'm giving y'all. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. Coronavirus, y'all. Coronavirus, it is here. Hopefully it goes away pretty soon, but it is here. I just want to encourage everybody to stay safe the best way you can. I know some people are not in the best position to do the things that they need to do for them and their family. But just do the best you can. That's all I can say. Like, do the best you can with this whole outbreak. I mean, it is an outbreak. You know what I mean? Like the other day I was actually watching the movie on Netflix, Outbreak, and just kind of the ways I've been hearing about the coronavirus spreading throughout cities, countries. It's kind of like that movie. You know what I mean? And I don't want to scare nobody, but if you can stomach something like that, like go watch The Outbreak on Netflix. It's an old movie, but it's definitely relative to what's going on now. Definitely stay safe. I've been making sure I check up on a lot of my family, a lot of my friends, a lot of, people, that I've known that had health problems in the past. They're cool now, but, I still want to check up on them because, something like this can re-aggravate, whatever health problems that they used to have, especially if it's having a weak immune system. To be honest with you, I'm not an expert by far on health in terms of, people having medical problems and stuff like that. Like, I come from a family that we've done pretty good in terms of keeping ourselves together, not having any tragic diseases, just talking about as a collective of us. So I haven't had to go through so many, complications with family and friends and even with myself. Like my health has been pretty good for the course of my life. You know what I mean? But, just thinking about this outbreak, the first thing that I think about is, some of the people that I know that have people in their family that have weak immune systems. The elderly people that they say actually is more subject to catch the virus is elderly people. So I check up on them. I'm just naturally concerned for everybody. You know what I mean? So please stay safe, best way possible. I had a conversation with my mom the other day, and as soon as she got on the phone, first thing she said is like, I got a household remedy that's going to stop the coronavirus from attacking you. You know what I mean? Or to help boost your immune system to fight it. Because, from what I hear, the coronavirus is, it's something that they don't necessarily have a cure for, but it's something that has to, if you catch it, it has to go through your body, and your body has to go ahead and fight it and get it out as of now. So, she called me and was like, yo, I got a household remedy. you, the boys, everybody that you can get in touch with, let them know this. So she was telling me if you get some warm water, lukewarm or warm water, whichever you choose, get some fresh lemons, cut some fresh lemons, squeeze it into the water, get some fresh ginger, preferably fresh ginger, but it doesn't have to be. Cut up the ginger, put it into the water, let it sit for a minute, and then I believe she said honey. If you want to, honey, if you want to, but it's really about the ginger, the lemon, and the warm water. She said drink that every day or as much as you can, and your immune system will gear itself up to fight the coronavirus if it tries to, to get you. You know what I mean? And hey, mama say, son do. Period. Mama say, son do. Getting it done. Make sure my kids do that as well. You know what I mean? And, even though there is a shortage of water, she said if you want to boil the tap water, you can do that. Let it cool till it gets lukewarm, and then you can do that. Fortunately, we have enough water to last us for a couple of weeks, if months, if that. So that's cool. But I did go stock up on some lemons, and I did go stock up on some fresh ginger. I definitely did that. Also, any vitamins that you're taking to help, boost up your immune system, just go ahead and take that. You know what I'm saying? To all my people out there that take CMOS, I take CMOS every day. I still have my pills that I do. Shout out to my boy Clutch. You know what I mean? He's a CMOS king. Dr. Sable's grandson. If you don't know about him, look him up. Dietary resolutions. Man, so many great products that help, fight diseases, cure diseases. And I've been taking it for a long time. So if you can get your hands on some CMOS, definitely do so. Go ahead and get that in your system for sure. Also, before I get into the topic of today, I just want to talk about, the newfound respect that I have for cleaning. Now, let me just say this. Like, I'm always cleaning. I'm always cleaning my studio. When I'm cooking, I'm always cleaning as I go. That's my thing. I clean as I go. You know what I mean? At the same time, I do not classify myself as a sterilizer, which I know the difference now between cleaning an area and sterilizing an area. There is a distinct difference between cleaning an area and sterilizing an area. And I have a newfound respect for all of the nurses and doctors and, people that work in health that understand the concept of keeping things clean and keeping down the bacteria consumption, for a human being. You know what I mean? And then I have a newfound respect for, the people who have been born with weak immune systems that can't fight, just the basic infections, let alone something as the coronavirus, which they deem as a pandemic or, whatever you call it. I guess you call it a pandemic. So it's crazy. You know what I mean? So I sterilized my entire studio the best way I possibly could because I knew that aside from being home, I was going to be at the studio more than I was going to be home. I'm going in. It's not going to stop no work. It's not going to stop nothing. I'm going in, which leads me to my topic of today. So I wanted to talk about the coronavirus, but with a different little twist because, out of all the news that you've been hearing and all the information you've been hearing about this pandemic, I wanted to talk about something a little bit different that's in the same, conversation as what's going on. But this is dedicated to my creatives, you know what I mean? And I wanted to talk about how the coronavirus affects your music. How the coronavirus affects your music. That's the topic of today. I'm not going to take a long time because I don't want to talk y'all ear off. Y'all know y'all doing a lot of stuff. Y'all moving from store to store trying to get products. Y'all making sure that y'all kids is learning something instead of playing video games. You know what I mean? You got a lot of time on your hands, but not that much time. You know what I mean? So I want to talk your ear off. But I do want to talk about how the coronavirus affects your music, because it does. Anytime you're in a state of lockdown or a state of standstill in terms of the social community being out in the open, people have time on their hands. People have time on their hands to sit down and reflect, to sit down and think, to sit down and possibly enjoy some entertainment that they've probably been passing by because they work so much every day. You know what I mean? So I want to talk about that a little bit. First off, just for my creatives, I just want to say that this is the best time to be creative. To all my artists out there, to all my filmmakers, to all my, content creators, this is the best time to be creative. You know what I mean? And the reason why I say that is because, every day we live our lives. We out in the open, we taking care of business, we doing whatever we got to do. Due to this coronavirus, they pretty much took away the outside. I'm in California right now, so pretty much they took away the outside. It's not really going outside to do too much of nothing unless you're going to buy some products, going to get something to eat. Like, there's really nothing. Bars are shut down, clubs are shut down, theaters are shut down, parks are shut down, everything is shut down. So you either in your house or in your studio or in your workspace, and you're trying to figure out what to do. I'm here to tell you this is the best time to be creative, because one of the best things about you as a creator is we are slightly different than the average person. Let me explain. When the average person gets bored, they try to find some sort of entertainment or some sort of substance that helps them pass by time. For creatives, when we get quote unquote at a standstill or quote unquote bored, in our brains, we either do two things. We either sit back and we reflect on the ideas and the creativity that we used to have, the old ideas we used to think about, or we indulge in new ideas that we're coming up with in the moment. There's only two things we do. Man, when I'm at a standstill, when I'm quote unquote, and I can't go out and I can't do certain things, first thing in my brain is like, oh, I'm finna go through my old beats. I'm going through my old beats and I'm finna organize my old beats and see, what I've been working on then. And then, or I might be like, I'm finna make some new beats, which I most likely will do right after this podcast, is go make some new beats. Go make something new. Rappers, this is the perfect time for you to be making songs. Man, if you don't lock yourself in the studio and make some records, even if you don't complete them, verses, lay them down. Hooks, lay them down. Ideas, lay them down. Singers, mumbling lyrics, lay them down. Go in. Go in. On top of that, if you have music that's you have already, put it on SoundCloud. Put it out to the world. While everybody's sitting down trying to figure out their next move, they could be listening to you. They could be listening to your new song. My sister just sent me a song from New Orleans. I forgot the song. Cut Up in a Club or something like that. Song is banging. New record that I got in tune with, which made me say, yo, I should be making some more upbeat club records. Being more creative. Let's go. My studio don't stop. I got people still booking sessions during the coronavirus. I'm going to sterilize the whole studio every time they walk in and every time they walk out. But the studio open. Studio is open. We getting to it. Because this is the best time to be creative. This is the grandest, best time to be creative. When they had the Great Depression back in the days, the one profession that was booming was the movies. That's when the movies start getting real popping during the Great Depression because, the economy was terrible. So people was staying home and then they like, yo, we need some entertainment. So the movies got popping. Movies was up. People was enjoying those. Then it ventured off in the radio, then TV, then, so on and so forth, to where it became a part of, that's the lifestyle. You enjoy yourself with, entertainment on top of, you working hard. But anytime that there's a recession or there's something with the economy or something with infection or whatever, when people got to stay in the house and not do nothing, that's when the value of the entertainment goes up a little bit because people want to be entertained while they're doing nothing. And right now we have all the devices that helps us entertain ourselves 24/7 without leaving the house. Artists, they should be seeing you on social media, constantly promoting creativity. Even if it's not releasing a record, even if it's just them watching you sing or watching you dance or watching you do something. Stay on that social media. Releasing records on SoundCloud. Go. Doing collabs. I bet you your favorite artist is sitting down right now. Try to figure out how to get a collab with them. Some other local artists that's just as good as you. Try to figure out how to get a collab with them. Tell them like, yo, I'm finna send you a song. Send me a verse right back. And let's cut the record. Y'all should be going out for collabs, making phone calls to collabs, because guess what? You don't even have to see that person to get the collab. Just send them the file. Just send him or her the file and you got a feature. They got time on their hands right now. Nobody doing no video shoots. Nobody doing no tours. Nobody doing no concerts. Nobody's at no award shows. Everybody is chilling at home or in the studio. So 9 times out of 10, if you call an artist that you want to do a collab with, most likely they're going to be available to do it. And they might do it for less money too. Try that out. Best time to be more creative, y'all. Best time to be more creative. You got something on your brain, get it out there. Get it out there. And it'll take your mind off of all this crazy stuff going on with the coronavirus. It'll take your mind off that. And that's what we want. We got to take our mind off of it. We got to definitely recognize it for what it is and take care of ourselves. But then also we have to take our mind off of it so we don't worry so much, especially, creatives. If y'all got kids, y'all got to take your mind off of it for the nature of the kids too. You got to make sure the kids is good. You know what I mean? Being creative at this moment is the best time. Also, and this is big for me. This is what I'm doing currently right now. This is the best time to get all of your paperwork in order. Get all your paperwork and all your file storage and sharing. Get all of that stuff in order. Me, what I did in my studio a couple of days ago, first thing I did was gather up all the hard drives in a safe, go through all the hard drives and see, okay, I got these files over here with these files. I want to make sure I take these video files and make sure I put them in one hard drive. And then I take these important files that are projects that I've completed already. And let me put those up in the safe on this big hard drive. Yo, I'm making sure that all my files is in order. Because I don't know what's going to happen. But guess what? I'm finna have all my files though. This is a chance to all your important documents and files. If you have a cloud, put them important files up in the cloud. This is your chance to do data transfer and get your files up in the cloud to where if something go wrong, you still got those files to reference when you move around in the cloud. You know what I mean? Paperwork, split sheets, ASCAP, making sure you sign off on certain things. Get all of that stuff done right now while everybody's sitting down. They can't tell you that they can't sign it. They can easily make a call to their lawyer, read over it. Everybody's sitting down. Get all that paperwork taken care of. Get everything that has to do with paperwork and file sharing and everything. Get that taken care of off the rip. Because at a certain point in time, you want to start gearing up for some releases. You want to start gearing up for the summertime. You want to start gearing up for taking care of a lot of good campaigning and good promotion. And good promotion. You want to take care of a lot of that. You want to start knocking down a lot of that. So the important part is, right now, we're at a standstill to where we have an opportunity to start putting everything together before it gets back good. Because when it get back good, that's when you get to release your campaign. That's when you get to release your campaign and go all the way up. You know what I'm saying? Very, very important thing. Like right now, you have the ability to get your paperwork and all your files and all your business in order. You can get everything in order right now. You can still log on to these websites and get work done. You know what I'm saying? It's important. And it's essential because it's like, yo, right now I have access to everybody because they can't tell me, yo, I'm running around doing this, I'm running around doing. Nah, man, you at home, buddy. You can sign this split sheet. You at home, buddy. You know what I'm saying? All of those files of that project that you want to make sure you back up, go get your hard drive from Best Buy and go back all that stuff up. Get that done. You know what I'm saying? In the midst of all this coronavirus stuff, there's still things you can do in the household. You know what I'm saying? Clean your household. You know what I mean? Throw away some of the paperwork and some of the boxes that you used to, have before that just piled up. Consolidate all of that stuff into something smaller. There's things to do during this downtime. You know what I mean? It's a big thing. Me, what I'm doing, even with my kids, I'm teaching my kids, how to better build production and make beats. The next level of it. They already started making beats already. I'm teaching them the next level of it while they're out of school for 2-3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? They're out of school for 2-3 weeks. So use this time wisely and get a lot of that stuff done that you couldn't get done because you was too busy at work and too busy moving around so much. Get it done now. Because best believe the world is about to speed back up again, of course. You know what I mean? Last thing before I go. This is one thing that, I definitely wanted to mention because, and there's no disrespect to no artist or no creative, but I have to say this. In times like this, where we're going through something as an entire world, as an entire species, as a whole. We're all going through it. Everybody on this planet is trying to make sure that they stay protected. At the same time, we also understand how precious life really is. Life is really, really precious, y'all. Like, for real. We take so much for granted. We take people for granted. We take, opportunities for granted. We take love for granted. We take energy for granted. And not to even sound like on some doomsday shit, but everybody has their time that will come. Hopefully, we don't have a time where everybody goes at one time. Hopefully, God spares us that horror. But I'm saying that to say this. The most important thing that you want to take from this whole coronavirus situation is, let's take into accountability of who you are as a person and who you are as a soul on this earth. Let me explain. Who you are as a person will be, I'm a black person, I work here, I have a family of this many, and this is what I do. But let's talk about the soul of who you are. I am someone who's loving and caring. I'm someone who's a go-getter. I'm someone who loves to do music. I'm someone who loves to care for people. I'm someone who loves to show people new opportunities. I'm someone who loves animals. We are human beings, y'all. We are real human beings. Creative or not, we're real people. And situations like this makes us understand the value of why you're on this earth. Ask yourself that. Situations like this gives you a chance to be honest with yourself. Let me say it again. Situations like the coronavirus amongst the world gives you a chance to be honest with yourself in this regard. What am I on this earth for? What am I on this earth for? Ask yourself that question. Am I on this earth so I can work at Starbucks? Am I on this earth so I can make a lot of money? Am I on this earth so I can be rich and drive fancy cars? Am I on this earth so I can entertain people? What are you on this earth for? Ask yourself that question. And once you ask yourself that question, that is something for you to keep for the remainder of your existence in this world. And I understand we all go through problems. We all have things that we want to do and sometimes are afraid to do. But tragedies like this can help you understand that in the midst of all the worry, it is your God-given right to do what you feel is right and to do what you feel is in your soul. And that's what being a creative is. That's why it's hard for somebody to understand a lot of creatives in this world. Because we're doing what's in our soul. And if we don't know what's our soul, then it's hard for you to understand what we own. Every day I wake up and I do what I love. I do exactly what I love with who I love to do it with. And no disrespect, but if this world was to end today, I can honestly tell myself I did what I loved with who I love to do it with. Very important thing that I feel like every human being has the right to know. Every human being needs to have the right to even ask themselves and answer that question over the course of their being. Before we're anything, before we're rappers, before we're doctors, before we're rich, before we're black, before we're Mexican, before we're Asian, before we're white, we are human. We are human first. Then everything else second, third, and fourth. So I ask you, as a human, what are you on this earth for? I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Thank y'all for listening. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all got something out of it. Make sure y'all subscribe to my podcast on all podcast platforms: Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn, YouTube, SoundCloud. I am everywhere. Make sure you leave me comments. Make sure you leave me, suggestions, topic questions, everything. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all the feedback. You know what I mean? I do this for my creatives, and I do this for people who want that workload, that want to get to it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all. Hopefully, when my next podcast comes out, we will be in a better light on this earth. The coronavirus will be over, and we can get back to doing what we do, which is dope shit. All right? Talk to y'all later. Peace.